I didn't do anything wrong, but the fact that your guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation, I'm gonna comply.
Drama, and Dr. Daphne Coleman came to the airport with zero lasagna and maximum smoke. Forget meet the parents, this was meet the hands. Imagine your mom storming into the middle of a domestic fiasco like she's the FBI. Except instead of warrants, she's got decades of pent-up mom strength and the vocabulary of someone who's tired of your nonsense. Now, let's not sugarcoat it.
No, don't talk to me like that. I'm an adult. Do not talk to me like that. Do not talk to me like that. Tell him.
Daphne didn't roll in like some sweet Southern belle with iced tea and let's talk this out vibes. No, ma'am. She came in like a Marvel villain's origin story, fire in her eyes, acid on her tongue, and the patience of exactly zero Sha'Carri didn't just see a mom. She saw a one-woman rescue mission disguised in mom jeans and fury. The internet went ballistic. The second whispers of this showdown leaked. People were like, damn, imagine your boyfriend's mom showing up to your fight to tell you off. Do you swing? Do you cry? Or do you just melt into the airport carpet? Spoiler alert, Sha'Carri didn't melt. She squared up.
I'm not gonna argue with you at all. But she had me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, show something different. So if I need to show that, I will.
3 minutes, one mother-son soap opera happening in full HD under TSA cameras. But here's the gag. Daphne wasn't just protecting her son, she was auditioning for the Mom Hall of Fame. While most moms drop passive-aggressive Facebook posts or we need to talk texts,
I feel like if it was Christian, I believe that's the young man's name, that was on camera bolting Sha'Carri and pushing.
Daphne skipped to level 99 direct confrontation, front row, popcorn sold separately. If this were a reality show, it'd be called The Real Moms of Track Field, and Daphne just guaranteed herself a season renewal. Here's where it gets messy. Insiders say the two almost threw hands. Imagine the headlines: Olympic sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson loses 100m dash to Christian's mom. Forget medals, this would have been family feud gold.
I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if like she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have like things that she need to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if like I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at like situations like this to just like, you know, take a step back.
And yet somehow nobody touched anybody. Instead, Daphne dropped the line of the century. I always knew you were bad news. Cold, ice cold. Dr. Daphne Coleman had been side-eyeing Sha'Carri for months, maybe years. But when that footage hit, it wasn't just receipts. It was a CVS-length scroll of "I told you so." The video didn't show lovebirds in distress. It showed Christian being shoved around like an unpaid intern trying to leave the office on Friday. And the worst part? He looked used to it.
Honestly, receives negativity more than they receive anything else. So, I'm coming out here to say that I take responsibility in my actions, what I did in my relationship, and everything else the case may be.
Viewers didn't need body language experts to explain what was happening. The internet collectively screamed, "This isn't new, this is routine." Sha'Carri pushing, Christian retreating, the dance of dysfunction caught in 1080p. Suddenly, all of Daphne's paranoid mom instincts went from maybe she's exaggerating to holy crap, she was right the whole time. And here's where it gets wild. Sha'Carri tried to spin the narrative, saying Christian was the liar, the coward, the one in the wrong. But when the receipts drop, sis, please. That's like trying to convince people the Titanic didn't sink while you're sitting on the lifeboat, dripping wet. The footage turned fans into FBI agents, dissecting every flinch, every shove, every please just walk away look Christian gave.
He lied about a couple things that's personally, you know, just in a relationship. I pretty much, officers can understand what a relationship is about, but he lied. He's a liar. And that was something that I kind of just grasped, and emotionally, I'm just like, bet you do.
The man wasn't fighting back, he was surviving. And survival isn't relationship goals, it's a horror movie plot. Most moms would write strongly worded Facebook statuses like, "Prayers for my son, not Daphne." She marched straight into Sha'Carri's space, eyes blazing, tongue sharper than a kitchen knife. If looks could kill, Sha'Carri would have been laid out before the first insult dropped. And oh, the insults flew. Daphne wasn't there to understand Sha'Carri's perspective. She wasn't there for therapy sessions or kumbaya circles. She was there to say one thing loud and clear: keep your hands off my baby or catch these hands yourself. Witnesses swear the two women went toe-to-toe in a silent standoff that lasted minutes. Minutes. Do you know how long that is in drama years? That's like 10 seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. People legit thought punches were about to fly. Imagine the headlines. Track star KO'd by opponent's mom. But here's the twist. Nobody swung. Instead, Daphne dropped a line colder than an ex's text. I always knew you were bad news. That's not just an insult, that's generational shade. That's the kind of line you pass down in family lore. Sha'Carri didn't crumble, though. She stood there chin high, daring Daphne to do more. And that's what makes this juicy two alpha women, both convinced they're protecting Christian, locked in a battle of willpower. Spoiler, the internet crowned Daphne the winner anyway. Christian, by all accounts, is the good kid. Reserved, respectful, the type to bring your car back with a full tank. Sha'Carri, she's energy incarnate. Loud, brash, fiery. That combo could have been fun opposites attract, blah blah blah, except instead of balance, it turned into chaos. The first red flag, Christian canceling family visits because Sha'Carri needed him. Bro, unless she's stranded on I-95 with a flat tire, she doesn't need you 24/7s. That's control, not companionship. And when mom called, sometimes Sha'Carri answered and wouldn't let Christian speak. Excuse me? That's not romance. That's hostage protocol. Even worse, anytime anyone said anything negative about Sha'Carri, Christian snapped like a guard dog. Not protective, but panicked. People started whispering, he's not defending her out of love, he's defending her out of fear. And you know what? Fear ages a man faster than running sprints in 110-degree heat. Friends saw it, teammates saw it, mom saw it, everyone saw it.
I do have my ID. Yeah, but I will definitely leave him alone. There's nothing that I want to do with him anymore. Like I said, it was a relationship thing. I need to get my stuff out of his bag.
Are you guys on the same flight? Or?
We are later on in the day because our flight ended up getting delayed. We were supposed to be leaving around this time of day, but the flight got canceled, so the flight doesn't leave until 10 p.m.-ish.
But Christian, nope. Love goggles strapped on tight. Dude acted like the red flags were just decorations. This is why, when the footage dropped, nobody was shocked except Christian. The rest of the world was like, finally, the receipts we've been waiting for. And the best part, half of Team USA reposted it. These aren't random cousins or high school friends. These are elite athletes who see Christian every single day. If your coworkers start vague posting about your relationship, congratulations, your personal drama is now office culture. Here's the kicker. Christian didn't get the hint. Or maybe he did, and just ignored it. Either way, watching everyone around him drop neon-lit hints was like watching someone speed toward a cliff, while the entire world yells, "Break!" And he's like, nah, I like the view. It's not that the post was subtle. It was the passive-aggressive equivalent of skywriting. But Christian, bless his reserved little heart, kept showing up next to Sha'Carri like, what drama? Meanwhile, the internet was connecting dots like a conspiracy board. So when the footage finally leaked, those posts aged like fine wine. Suddenly, teammates looked like prophets, fans were like detectives, and Christian looked like the only one who couldn't read the room. The most shocking part, Christian didn't look shocked. He didn't argue, he didn't retaliate. He just tried to walk away, while Sha'Carri kept shoving him like he was a human shopping cart. That's not new behavior, that's rehearsed choreography. Fans dissected every frame like it was the Zapruder film. Look at his flinch. See how he avoids eye contact? The internet basically earned PhDs in toxic body language. And the conclusion? Christian wasn't in love. He was in survival mode. The irony? Sha'Carri later claimed it was just a regular argument. Sis, regular arguments involve yelling, maybe slamming a door. Not pushing your Olympic boyfriend through an airport like TSA lost your luggage. At first, she downplayed everything. It was just an argument. No big deal. Cute. But the second she realized handcuffs were making an appearance, boom, victim mode activated. Suddenly, Christian was the coward, the liar, the one who put her in this mess. Ma'am, the cameras were rolling. This isn't improv theater. This is an airport under 24/7 surveillance. The meltdown was cinematic. Sha'Carri begging, blaming, crying, ranting. One minute she's saying she never touched him, the next she's claiming he hit her. Pick a story, sis. You can't be the angel and the victim and the avenger in the same police report. But here's the real jaw-dropper. Christian stayed silent. Didn't throw her under the bus, didn't clap back, didn't even correct the lies. And when she finally got exposed, when the world saw the raw footage and her story crumbled, instead of cutting her off, Christian went public defending her. The internet went feral. Fans were like, "Bro, she just tried to have you arrested. Why are you still playing Captain Save a Sprinter?" The sympathy turned into frustration. It's one thing to love someone flawed, it's another to volunteer as tribute in their PR nightmare. At first glance, that looks sweet. Defending your girl, standing by her side, but dig deeper and you start noticing the tremble in his voice, the way he overreacts to even small critiques. That's not protective boyfriend energy, that's please don't punish me later energy. Yikes. Friends noticed it, family noticed it, even random teammates sipping Gatorade on the sidelines noticed it. Christian wasn't just defending Sha'Carri, he was defending her like his life depended on it. The subtext was louder than her Instagram stories. It's the kind of behavior that makes people whisper, "What's going on behind closed doors?" And sure enough, when the footage leaked, the whispers became screams. Turns out, those knee-jerk defenses weren't about love. They were survival reflexes. And the evidence? Oh, it was juicy. Missed family dinners, last-minute cancellations, weird phone calls where Sha'Carri answered instead of Christian, his entire vibe shifting from chill sprinter to dude walking on eggshells. The people closest to him weren't just suspicious, they were practically hosting intervention rehearsals. The viral quote post about accepting people aren't right for us wasn't just gossip, it was a full-blown smoke signal. And when nearly the entire team reposted it, you knew something sinister was up. Athletes don't usually subtweet relationship drama. They're too busy icing their knees and collecting medals. But this had them breaking character. The leaked footage wasn't shocking to those paying attention. It was confirmation. Every red flag his mom and friends spotted suddenly lined up like passengers scrambling for lifeboats. And the worst part? Christian wasn't just sinking. He was smiling through it, insisting, "Nah, it's fine, just a little water." Fans were screaming at their screens, "Dude, the ship is going down." But Christian stayed loyal, defending Sha'Carri even as she shoved him, lied to cops, and played the victim. That's not love, that's Stockholm Syndrome with matching Instagram filters. The internet rebranded them from power couple to toxic cautionary tale. Sha'Carri went from fan favorite sprinter to villain of the month. Christian went from world champion to walking meme, the guy who stayed on the Titanic, violin in hand, while everyone else grabbed life vests. That raw footage didn't show a lover's quarrel. It showed Sha'Carri pushing Christian like she was trying to qualify for Olympic shot put. The saddest part? Christian didn't even react. No anger, no shock, just resignation like a man who's been shoved before and knows the routine. That's not romance. It's a recurring subscription to chaos. The internet went CSI mode, breaking down every shove like it was game tape. Fans said his body language screamed defeat, not disagreement. When you're more focused on walking away than standing your ground, you're not fighting, you're surviving. And the irony? Sha'Carri tried to brush it off as normal couple stuff. Babe, if your version of normal looks like assault charges waiting to happen, you need a new dictionary. At first she kept it cute. We just argued, no big deal. But as soon as the handcuffs jingled, she flipped harder than a gymnast. Suddenly, Christian was the liar, the coward, the one to blame. Sis, the receipts were already printing. Playing victim with cameras rolling is like robbing a bank in broad daylight, and then yelling, "It was the teller." Her meltdown was Oscar-worthy crying, ranting, calling him names, even claiming he put hands on her. But the gag? Christian never said a word. He didn't accuse, didn't defend himself. He just stayed quiet. Which, ironically, made her look guiltier than a toddler covered in cookie crumbs, saying, "I didn't do it." He went public saying she needed grace, that people have emotions, and that she deserved forgiveness. Sir, she tried to have you arrested. This isn't grace. This is gaslighting with a side of Stockholm Syndrome. Fans were baffled. How do you get manhandled, lied about, and publicly dragged, then turn around and play Captain Save a Sprinter? Twitter had a field day. Bro, blink twice if you need help. Memes flooded in, painting him as the human embodiment of loyal to a fault. And the worst part? His body language during that interview gave everything away. No eye contact, shoulders slumped. The vibe wasn't confident forgiveness. It was hostage reading a ransom note. Twitter turned into a comedy club overnight. Memes of Christian as Captain Save a Sprinter flooded timelines. TikTok showed reenactments of the airport footage with captions like, "When your man defends you after you body slam him in Terminal 3. Savage, the backlash wasn't just clowning. People were genuinely frustrated. They wanted Christian to recognize the pattern, to stand up for himself, but instead, he doubled down. It was like watching a firefighter pour gasoline on a house fire, then proudly declare, "See, I helped." When Christian sat down for interviews after the drama, fans weren't listening to his words. They were watching the flinches, the downward glances, the way his shoulders curled in like he was trying to shrink into the chair. That wasn't a world champion sprinter speaking. That was a man who looked like he needed witness protection. And the memes? Ruthless. Side-by-side comparisons of his interviews pre-Sha'Carri versus post-Sha'Carri went viral. Before, confident, relaxed, chest out.
Middle of an airport and he is visibly trying to walk away and she's like pushing him and like hitting him in the middle of a fucking airport in broad daylight. Like, as someone that's quite literally afraid to even record my...
After, eyes darting, posture hunched, voice shaky. Bro didn't need a microphone. His nervous tics screamed louder than the speakers. The internet concluded what Christian wouldn't say. He wasn't in love. He was in survival mode. Fans didn't hear, "I support her." They heard, "Please don't make her mad." It wasn't just tone deaf. It was insulting. People wanted remorse. They got sass. They wanted accountability. They got smirks. It was like watching someone say sorry for spilling wine on your white shirt while holding another glass over your lap. The worst part? Instead of calming the storm, the apology made it worse. Fans dragged her harder, memes multiplied, and her reputation tanked faster than Christian's body language in an interview. The caption read like a PR intern copy-pasted from Apologies for Dummies. Fans instantly clocked it. No emotion, no accountability, just polished nonsense. She basically said, "I'm sorry if you felt bad," which is PR code for, "This is your fault for having feelings." And, of course, she sprinkled emojis like sprinkles on a burnt cupcake, trying to soften the blow. Newsflash, a heart emoji doesn't cancel out public humiliation. Christian looked like he needed therapy, not a Notes app paragraph with a crying face sticker. The comment section turned into a roast pit. Girl, who wrote this? ChatGPT? Apology sponsored by Canva templates. The public smelled the fakeness a mile away. She started reposting cryptic but not so cryptic messages online. Choose yourself. Toxic people drain your soul. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Ma'am wasn't just subtweeting, she was live blogging her son's misery in motivational quote format. Fans cheered. They were like, "Finally, someone said it." Daphne became the unofficial voice of reason, the one person refusing to let Sha'Carri slide by on charm and speed. And the more she posted, the more obvious it became that she wanted Christian out. So buckle up. This isn't just about rap beef. This is about legacy, power, and what happens when the world's biggest star might not be able to meme his way out of a mess. Drake's story was once a rags to riches fairy tale. Now, it might just be turning into the darkest plot twist hip-hop has ever seen.